Hi, Stuart here from Ring Jewellers. This short video is just to explain how important it is to get a well-fitted wedding ring, especially around a lady's engagement ring. Now, a lot of people, when they start their wedding ring journey, they'll try their engagement ring on alongside a wedding band and find there's a little gap between them. They'll often say, oh, that looks quite nice, gives a bit of separation between them. There's even a bit of a trend on social media of people calling it negative space, and they're actually choosing that option. But what they don't realise is it's really terrible for the engagement ring. When the rings touch with a gap, it means basically the wedding band is touching the very back of the engagement ring and the most delicate part of the ring, which is the diamond setting. Now, over time, the two rings will rub and that will wreck the engagement ring setting, resulting in a loose or even totally lost diamond. So it's really, really important to get a well-fitted wedding ring. So this is an example of a badly fitted set, like I was just describing. So as you can see, the rings don't quite sit together. Some people will try and even force it underneath, but they never stay in place. And they're sitting with that gap there. And although, like I say, it's not the most ugly looking thing in the world, the dilemma you can see from this angle here. So the rings are only touching at the very, very back there, and also at the most delicate part of the ring there. So that will just rub away at that setting and cause it massive damage. Now, the difference between that and one that fits nicely, like this set here, basically means that the wedding ring's been made to fit all the contours of the engagement ring, and they fit seamlessly, almost like two puzzle pieces. And they fit together. If they move on the finger, they'll move together rather than rubbing each other and damaging them. So this really pretty engagement ring's got almost like a plaited sort of design to it. And with a flat band, if I cheat and use the back, you'll have lots of gaps and bits that don't sit well. But as if by magic, if we turn that round, this has actually been tailor-made, and you can see all those little gaps that you would normally have are not there now, just through that lovely sweeping shape that's been made. And those rings will stay together on the finger, they'll move together, rather than just, again, turning it round to the flat back. If it was a flat band, you'd have all this rubbing and wear that you don't have when it's been nicely fitted. We've got a customer in at the moment that's unfortunately lost a diamond from her 3 stone. The other one's been unset just so we can match it. And that is because of this very reason. So you'll see, I'll show you in a close-up in a second, the side of the setting that would have had these lovely claws coming down, touching the finger, have just been obliterated by a bad fitted wedding ring. So yeah, really important to get a wedding ring that fits an engagement ring. And this is the other ring I mentioned that a customer's just brought into us. She's unfortunately lost one of her diamonds. The other one we've removed so we can match the replacement. And as you can see from the side there, this ring would have had lovely sort of straight line up bar claws coming all the way down and touching the finger, but they've just been totally rubbed away. And that's that groove you can see in the side of the ring. She's been wearing a wedding band and an eternity ring, and they've both sort of done a lot of damage there. You can see at the bottom there, that would have been almost like a little picture frame of white gold, but it's broken right through the setting. So we've got to remake this for her. So that's what happens when you've got that little gap between the two rings. Now, a lot of people will say, I don't like the idea of a shaped band, but they're often used to just seeing the off-the-peg wishbone rings in jewellers' windows. When we design and make them to fit a customer's ring, we can adapt almost any design at all and make it the perfect fit. So don't be put off by shape bands you've seen in a jeweller's window, because it doesn't have to be like that. When we talk about shape bands, they're not to be confused with off-the-peg wishbone wedding rings like this. What they tend to do is help the fit a little bit, but they never stay in place. So although, again, they can look quite nice, when you're just going about your day-to-day and just moving your hands around, they will slip out and create just as much damage to the engagement ring as a non-fitted band. So not an off-the-peg wishbone, an actual bespoke one. How we make these, by the way, is we take an impression of your engagement ring in like a little putty kit. And then when we've got that perfect outline of your ring, we build the new ring to that. So the great thing is you don't have to leave your engagement ring with us for a long time, and you get that sort of puzzle piece perfect fit. If you'd like a quote for a fitted wedding ring, get in touch at ringjewellers.co.uk.